guys, what's going on? I'm back with another video. In this video today, we're making the last football video of the season. Last, football discussion video, at least, of the season. We're talking about the Super Bowl here today. I want to thank everybody who's been with me through all the, I can't believe we made this many at this point, through all the weeks and into the playoffs, and now we're finally at the Super Bowl, and after this will be it. For this 2016 football season. So everybody who's been watching all this time, I just want to say thanks for sticking with me. If you've got any suggestions for how I can improve in the future, leave a comment. I'd love to see what you guys think. But other than that, this is it. There's, normally I say we're going to do the picks, like plural, predictions, plural. There's just one pick left, one prediction left to go here. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and get right down into it. So, Super Bowl 51, New England Patriots, Atlanta Falcons. First thing I want to say about this game is just my overall feeling going into it. And it's concerning the Falcons, and I've always kind of felt this way about the Falcons. And if you go back and watch some of my videos, like I kind of alluded to it, previously, the Atlanta Falcons are a team that, they're in the friggin' Super Bowl, and it still feels like nobody cares about the team. Not nobody cares about, nobody cares about the team, but no one pays attention, or nobody, like if you put on NFL Network, and this isn't like a scientific fact or anything like this, they didn't do like a longitudinal study to figure this out, but I've always got the feeling from watching, NFL Network or any of the national, sports channels, outlets, whatever you want to call them, there's certain teams that are hot that they like to talk about, like the New York Giants, the Seahawks, a lot of NFC teams, maybe in the AFC, maybe the Steelers. There's certain teams I like to talk about a lot. And for whatever reason, it just seems like the Atlanta Falcons are a team that they just never talk. Like, even when we knew they were good and they were, as explosive as they still are going into this game, there was just really just an overall lack of coverage, appreciation, and I think respect for this team. And the Super Bowl is a few days away. They're in it. And still just I don't know if it's the marketing or how you want to describe it. This team is just, it's like still, they're really not giving them the time of day. It just kind of feels like, of course there's articles and different things. If I go to NFL.com right now, they're talking about the draft. They're talking about the article right here. They're talking about the draft. Like they're already on they're already done. Like they're already past this game, and they're talking about the Steelers. Like they'd rather talk about any other thing. And when I say they, I just mean the national media. Than talk about the Falcons. I don't know, and it's kind of feels like it's always been that way. As far as the fan base is concerned, Atlanta's not a team that has, a very strong fan base. It seems like there's more people concerned with, I don't know, just seems like not a lot of Atlanta fans. I think I read an article that, it's really like mostly Patriots fans going to the game, mostly just people going to the game just for the hell of it, just, going to say they went to a Super Bowl, I guess. But not, it's not like the 12s in Seattle or, just think of any other, the Giants and Patriots. Not like, think about any team with really passionate fans, like real diehard fans. The Falcons, I don't know what the opposite of that is, but they just really, I don't know. It's kind of an odd situation there. I thought I'd kind of talk about that because I kind of felt like that about them for a while. But anyways, Patriots, Falcons, that's what we got. That's who's in the Super Bowl here. Now, as far as how each team got there, I think that's almost more interesting than the matchup itself, just the fact that these two teams are here. And, I guess you could say for the Patriots, it's not all that interesting because they're kind of always there, but this season it is. I guess, no, I was going to start with the Falcons. I guess I'll start with the Patriots. So, of course, Tom Brady missed the first 4 games of the season. Everybody thought, oh, that's it, they're done. They're 0-4, missed the playoffs, or... I think the punishment was kind of designed to do that, or, hurt them, taking away, a draft pick, all that. Even in a season where they don't have, the Deflategate punishment, or what have you, people just don't like them. And I just read the thing today. It said they did a study that found they're the most hated team. It was typically always the Cowboys. Now the Patriots have eclipsed the Cowboys to become even more hated somehow. But even with Brady missing the 4 games, with the backup playing a game, and then the backup to the backup playing another 2 games, and losing Rob Gronkowski to injury for the year. They're one of, if not their best defensive player, getting traded away. Like that, not only should you not make the Super Bowl, like you should really have problems, when you've got those problems. And instead they finished 14-2, which I think is a testament to Bill Belichick just being, an all-time great. If not, no, my opinion, I think he's up there. Not only up there, he's probably, I think, the best football coach of all time, certainly. The fact that with all that going on, I mean, there's some teams get, number 1 draft picks and big name talent, and all those things, big fan bases, and they just suck like every year. But, you look at what happened with New England, and somehow he just puts it together. They just put it together, and they get the job done, 14-2, and in the Super Bowl. However, I do want to say this feels like it's a down year for football. And I think the other side of that is you could say, oh, well, there's parity. There's more parity this year. There's not, just a few really good teams and everybody else sucks. There's just kind of, there's more teams in the middle. There's more competition this year. It was more competitive. I guess you could say that. Or you could say just more teams suck this year. It's kind of a matter of perspective, I guess. And then on the other side, the Falcons had one of the most, if you really sit down and watch it, one of the most explosive offenses I've seen in a very long time. Unbelievable offense. Now, Atlanta's a team, and we'll get into this in a second here, not really known for their defense. I mean, they won because they just outscored, 40 points, 38 points, 41 points, 40. They just put up more points than the other team. Explosive offense, not really a big defensive operation to speak of. They just outscored teams, and even through all the videos I did, I'd always point that out. Like I kind of say, every week, hey, it seems like Atlanta, you look at their last few games, it's always, 38, 41 points, 40 points, really high-scoring team, number 1 scoring team in football this season. And so that's kind of how they got here, 11-5, and, that's what they did. They just outscored, the teams that they needed to, and now they're here. So, get into this matchup here. What it really comes down to, because I think the interesting thing here is the spread for this game is 3 points. 3-point spread, and it has not moved at all. That 3-point spread, as far as the Vegas and the betting line on the game is concerned, that 3-point spread has not moved. Now, normally, if you go back to like last season, or you can go, I'm trying to think of, games that had close spreads. The last one I can think of, I think I'm not sure if it was a pick'em or if it was, I think it was. So if you go back to 2 years ago, the Seahawks, when they played the Patriots, I think it went from like 3 points Steelers or 3 points. It was like, I think it started at 3 points. I don't know whose favor it was in. And eventually, as we got closer to the game, it just became, a pick'em. And this year, it's close again, only 3-point spread. But it has not moved at all, which is very strange. Now, if I had to, I'm no professional, bookkeeper or anything like that, but if I had to attribute it, to certain factors or just try to figure out what that is, first thing I would say is, I feel like Vegas has just been getting just destroyed this season. Not only this season, but the last several months here as far as betting on things are concerned. The favorites, like the number 1, 2, 3, 4 power ranking teams, like the real favorites for this season, who I know it's kind of unthinkable now, but if you think back to, like week 1, who the favorites were, it was Carolina, the Carolina Panthers, who sucked this season, the Arizona Cardinals, who were not all they were made up to be. I think, the Steelers might have been in there. Patriots are probably in there because they're always there. But with the exception of them, those 3 teams kind of sucked this season. They were not just sucked, but they were not anywhere near where they were expected to be. They were not, the favorites that they were made out to be coming into the season. So that's one reason. Other reason, and it kind of stems off of that, is there were a lot of upsets this season. A lot of just things that, games and just teams, pooping themselves that we did not see coming. I don't think anybody saw when Tony Romo went out that Dak Prescott was going to come in and, lead the Cowboys to the number 1 seed. Nobody really saw that coming. Nobody, I don't think anybody saw that. same thing with the Patriots. Brady going out. Nobody saw them going 3-1. Nobody saw the backup to the never mind the backup to the backup doing as well as he did. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw the Carolina Panthers, who almost were undefeated last year. They went 15-1. I think they lost their last regular season game, interestingly enough, to Atlanta. If that was a sign of things to come, I don't know. But they sucked. Their defense was trash. They couldn't do anything the whole season. So just a lot of upsets. So I feel like, and then, of course, the upset of all upsets, the presidential election this last year, which, people bet a lot of money on. Nobody ever saw, that going the way that it did. Vegas has just kind of been on the losing side of a lot of these things here. So there's that. I think that has something to do with it. The other thing, I think, maybe not the main thing, maybe, I don't know, I guess this is also another matter of perspective here. Another reason I think the spread for this game, and not only the spread, but the expectations that people have of this game are the way that they are. The reason the spread hasn't moved is because of the fact, I think, that it comes down to a simple math problem to figure out who's going to win this game. It comes down to which of these two math problems is going to, come out with more points. Is it the Falcons offense minus the Patriots defense, or is it the Patriots offense minus the Falcons defense? Obviously, not obviously, but in my opinion and most people's opinion, the answer is the Patriots offense minus the Falcons defense, because the Falcons defense is ranked 27th. I've got the stats all pulled up here. See, I pulled them all up before the video. I feel like I'm on like ESPN or something. Like, I've got all like one of those. When they got like those Microsoft tablets. I don't have that. I actually have like the fat iPad. It's the big one they made. I like it. Nice big screen. You can see everything. So actually, I got all the stats pulled up right here for you. Atlanta Falcons, number 27th ranked defense in the league in terms of points allowed this season. 27. Bottom of the barrel. Not very good, right? So obviously, the answer is, Patriots offense minus the Falcons defense. The Patriots offense is damn good. Now, I know they don't have Gronkowski, but if you saw what they destroyed the Steelers. Nobody can do more with less than that team. And it's still, because I watched the highlights for both of these teams to kind of get, prepared for this video here. And if you notice something, really since kind of, I think, Gronkowski went out, it almost feels like, I'm no expert on, the Patriots, but for some reason, when you watch how the Patriots play, it feels like they hold something back. Like they've been holding something back this season, or at least from, the film that I took a look at. It just sort of seems like they're not uncorking the bit. Like, it feels like, they have Martellus Bennett, who I guess is the insurance policy on Gronkowski. It just feels like they're not turning him loose, like, down the seam. Or they're not, just big, like, they don't do big plays. I don't know if that's the strategy, or if it's, or if they're just kind of saving something up. Like, I think, they're a team that likes to run their trick plays, and there hasn't been too many of those. But I don't know. It just feels like they've been holding something back for this game. And they're already, one of the best, if not the best, in the league as it is. And you kind of factor that in the fact that you got Belichick coaching. He's got all these, 2 weeks to prepare. The Falcons' defense isn't good to begin with. Like, you got to give that one to the Patriots offense scoring more, the Patriots offense minus the Falcons defense scoring more points than the other way around. Now, the Falcons offense, like I said, is no joke. This is a legit offense. They can run the ball, pass the ball, deep ball to Julio Jones, screen plays, bootlegs, short passes, wheel run. They can do everything on this team. There's like no, one thing where you go, all right, we're going to stop that, and then they're screwed, right? I guess Julio Jones is the main guy you want to go after there, because he's unbelievable what he can do. He's not Randy Moss, but he's really somebody you got to cover, because you're going to get torched. Not cover, like double cover. You got to make sure you kind of take him out of the equation there. But long story short, Atlanta, they can do everything on offense. However, the Patriots defense, take a guess, because I told you that Atlanta's defense was ranked 27th in points allowed this season. Guess where the Patriots defense ranks this season in points allowed? Number 1. The New England Patriots have the number 1 ranked defense in the league this year. Now, I don't think, they certainly don't feel, I mean, usually it's Seattle, it's Denver, like, that's usually, I mean, I was kind of shocked when I saw it. I really wasn't expecting that. Number 2, just, fun fact, New York Giants. New York had the second-ranked team. New York Giants always kind of had good defense there. But anyways, they're number 1 in defense. So if anybody can devise a scheme to stop the Falcons, to stop Devontae Freeman, to stop Julio Jones, to stop Mohamed Sanu. I mean, you can just go down the list, and it's like every single, like if you think about like a check down pass, the metaphors, you check down your list of receivers and find the guy that's open. Their list is like 17 pages long. Like they can go to anybody. In the other way around is the Patriots are also pretty good. And Atlanta's defense is not as good as the Patriots' defense. It's 26 spots difference, or 26 teams in between, so to speak. And so at the end of the day, even though Atlanta could score a heck of a lot of points, the Patriots can do the same thing. It's not like they're disadvantaged, offensively when they stack up against Atlanta's defense. So then it comes down to, the X factors. Like, how do you, because that's pretty much even, you know what I mean? So how do you explain the 3-point spread? When you factor all of those things in, it comes down to the fact that neither one of these teams can blow the other one out. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to shut down Atlanta's offense. I mean, you can slow them down, but you're never just going to shut. I mean, they're not going to just go out there and lay an egg. And, I don't think anybody thinks that or expects that to happen. The other way around, Atlanta's defense isn't going to shut certainly not the Patriots down. So neither one of these teams is really going to blow the other one out. So then it just comes down to, you got Tom Brady, you got Bill Belichick, and if you give them 2 weeks to prepare, I think that kind of favors the Patriots. Now, speaking of just the individual, the strategy, the nuts and bolts of both of these teams, and I'll give you the pick. I've got New England winning this game. Not really for any of those reasons, though. This is the reason why. Atlanta's offense, mainly Julio Jones, but other people on Atlanta's offense, using Julio Jones as an example, seems like the type of situation, like he seems like the type of flashy, athletic, very, very talented wide receiver, used to having big games, used to having 70-yard touchdowns, that if you if you can cover him, if you can frustrate him, I think frustrate's the key term. He's the type of receiver that just kind of shuts it down, kind of like an Odell Beckham. Like if you frustrate him and he's not balling, and or if he draws a penalty, or if he's just not having a great day, just kind of shuts it down. He just kind of seems like that type of guy. Like I guess Odell Beckham, given recent events, is the best example for that. Just kind of strikes me is that type of player. And it's sort of emblematic of Atlanta's offense. It's flashy, it's hot, it's explosive, it's all those things. And when you let Bill Belichick scheme up against you, I think it kind of goes without saying, they're going to be physical against Atlanta's receivers. They're going to be shoving them at the line, throwing them off their spot, throwing their timing off. If the Patriots get physical with Atlanta's receivers, if they, try to block them at the line, shove them, throw them off their timing, just throw off the timing just a little bit, it'll sort of frustrate them. Atlanta's whole scheme is to put up a lot of points early, go fast, big plays, big points, fast, and make the other team play from behind. That's what Atlanta does. Like, that's really the only way they can operate. So what, Bill Belichick's going to do is he's going to look at the film, kind of figure that out, and say, all right, let's slow the game down. Let's hand the ball off. Because Atlanta, not, overly talented, like I said, on defense. They're pretty good. They're in the Super Bowl for a reason. But he's going to hand the ball off a lot. Run the ball, slow the game down. I wouldn't be surprised if they take the ball first, score first, slow the pace of the game down. And then when Atlanta comes out on offense, frustrate their receivers, throw off their timing, bring pressure, and just not let them do what they, because they really can always do the same thing when they win. They just put up a lot of points early and stay ahead and do big plays and, you know, keep a fast pace and all that. So if you can throw them off a little bit from that game plan, it just seems like when you factor in, you know, if you swap the roles there, the Patriots, on the other hand, they can, you know, it's like a different team every week with them. Like, they just kind of, they can, you know, whatever your scheme is, they can, you know, move the pieces around, change the scheme for whatever you're good at and stack up against you. And it just seems like Atlanta is too one-dimensional. Like, that's them. They just score a lot of points and they win the way they win. And I just feel like Bill Belichick and the Patriots can sort of scheme for that. Like, they can mold and change and all that to sort of account for that in a way that not really many other teams can. And so for that reason, I've got the Patriots winning Super Bowl 51. And there's my prediction, my final prediction of the season. Now, if I had to guess a final score, I guess I might as well do that. I guess I'll stick with the 3-point spread. I've got the Patriots winning this game 31-28, and I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta gets to 28 from a touchdown scored in, you know, like garbage time at the end of the game. That wouldn't surprise me. But 31-28, New England. That's what I got. Because what I'm doing there is I'm just sticking with the current spread of 3 points. So that's what I got. Now I think the total, I think it's like 59.5. Like, I think that's. So hold on, man. What's the total? Hold on a second. Let me just figure. I just want to figure out 31-28. 31, 28, 59. Look at that. I didn't even add the numbers up. I just guessed it, you know, what I thought it would be. So there you go. Exactly what the total is. Look at that. I should be picking games. Really, like, I didn't even try to add them up in my head. I just figured, all right, what does it seem like is going to happen, you know, if I just kind of imagine, you know, what they're going to do, you know, what each team will kind of do. And I just figured, 31-20, that seems like what it's going to be. And there's the 3-point spread and the total. So there you go. So with that being said, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you enjoyed all the football videos this season. If you did, please leave a comment and let me know. Thank you for sticking with me until now. But other than that, until next time, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching.